casual but classical, practical and factual. Arduino try.
Now, people have asked me why I don't do more videos on gold and precious metals, and the answer is quite simple. Unless I have something unique and something valuable to say on the subject, I'm not going to make a video about it. It's pointless me just parroting what other people are saying and adding nothing new to the discussion. But it's time for me to raise my voice because I have something that I don't think anyone else is covering. Now, North Korea. And it might seem strange for some of you to mention North Korea and gold. Well, if you remember, a little while ago there were lots and lots of mainstream articles about North Korea, how there was going to be problems with North Korea were going to bomb the US, North Korea were going to do this, that and the other. And the sayings of Kim Jong-un were parroted ad nauseum on the air. And now it's all gone quiet. Well, why is this? And the answer is gold. Now, last year there was a defector from North Korea, and he was a very interesting defector because he was involved in Kim Jong-un's gift buying programs. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with the way that North Korea works, it's quite simple. It's a giftocracy, not a democracy. The way it works is that every year the dear leader, and this is why they call him the dear leader, because he is very expensive, he buys gifts for all the government officials, all the military officials, and each year the gifts have to get more and more expensive, because otherwise they don't feel valued, and they're likely to go off and do their own thing, undermine his authority. And despite the threat of execution, if you've got someone who's the head of the army and controls a few million troops, they're not going to be that worried about it. So he keeps them in line by buying gifts. And what sort of gifts are we talking about? Well, we're not talking about cheap things. We're talking about top of the range luxury cars from Mercedes, from Rolls-Royce, from other companies. We're talking about large country estates in North Korea that are furnished with the latest in Western appliances. Yeah, we're talking billions of dollars. And the Korean economy is actually split into two. There's a public economy which works on the good old communist lines of having a 5-year plan, and the people produce things and they get rewarded with food, with a place to stay, and so on. We also have what is called the royal palace economy, because North Korea used to have a king, and to all intents and purposes Kim Jong-un is a king, feudal king. And the way this works is that lots and lots of foreign currency is gathered, and then it is spent upon these gifts, and we're talking billions of US dollars per year. Billions! So this is a major industry. And when America put in sanctions and the rest of the world put in financial sanctions on North Korea, which effectively seemed to stop them getting hold of hard currency, then obviously this system started to collapse, and Kim Jong-un was having to say, well, you know, well done chaps, there's no gift this year, but I really do appreciate your efforts. And this wasn't working too well, hence the death of Kim's uncle, who tried to build an alternative power base for himself because the gifts had dried up. So how do they now get foreign currency? Well, here's the fascinating thing. According to the defector, the way they do it is they have gold shops. Unofficial North Korean gold shops are open in many countries around the world to do business. And the particular gold shop this defector was involved in was in China, and they were selling hundreds of kilos of gold bars, hundreds of kilos of jewellery per year. And you think, well, hang on a minute, where do they get all the gold? North Korean's official gold reserve is 2,000 tons, which is still a lot for such a small country. I mean, it's 1/4 of America's total declared gold reserve, if that indeed exists. But North Korea was estimated, before they closed their borders, to have over 1 million tons of gold below ground. It is a country that's very rich in metal resources. Very rich indeed, one of the richest in the world, if not the richest. Now, there's something like 350,000 tons of gold actually above ground today that we think we know about. So what was untapped in North Korea was actually 3 times greater than all the gold that exists above ground on the planet today. Excuse me, I need to alter my camera slightly. So, yeah, they have an awful lot of untapped gold. Now, officially, Korea only mines 2 or 3 tons of gold per year. However, as we all know with Kim Jong-un, what officially happens and what really happens are 2 different things. And there are indeed areas in North Korea that are rather like the Klondike used to be, where you could wander around and pick up gold just off the ground. Now, it's not legal to do that, but it's very easy to mine that way if you've got a line of soldiers walking across the ground, doing a fingertip search, finding the odd £1 gold nugget and giving it straight to Kim. And this is, it would appear, is now how he's funding his gift policy. Now, why are they leaving North Korea alone? Because this huge sale of physical gold, which is happening through the back door, which nobody really knew about until this defector turned up, is in fact what is keeping the physical gold price suppressed. Now, one of the big fears has been that America has done a very good job, and the central banks have done a very good job of keeping the paper gold price suppressed, but everyone's been expecting the physical gold price to take up. And it just doesn't add up, because if you add up all of the amounts that countries are declaring that they're adding to their balance sheets in physical gold, and that central banks are buying in physical gold, then it exceeds the world's mining total by quite a large amount. And the world mined something like 2,400 and some odd tons last year. It used to be 2,500, but some mines are now no longer economical, have been closed down. So the world's supply is contracting, and yet the price is still low. Why is this? And the answer is these backdoor sales from North Korea. They're keeping the price of gold, the physical price of gold, low. So America now no longer wishes to punish North Korea other than the financial sanctions, and the financial sanctions are going to stay there, because as long as they stay there, then Kim Jong-un is going to help the West in suppressing the price of gold. Not because he wants to do that. In fact, it's in his interest for the price of gold to go higher. But he has no choice. He has to buy these gifts to keep in power. The only way he can get hold of the gifts is by selling North Korean gold. And they have an awful lot of it, 1 million tons below ground. So I hope you found this interesting, and that you'll enjoy it, and that you'll like and share it. Because I need to grow my channel. I need to grow it quite a lot in order for it to support me in my retirement. Thank you very much. Bye.